Okay, Year 7, the second unit on working with time is doing some calculations. Now, some of these you can use your calculator for, but others are going to require you to do some mental calculations. Now, time is very important for things like watching sporting events or travelling and using train, plane, bus, ferry timetables. Time durations, particularly if you're a tradie or you're working per hour, or even if you're following a recipe and cooking. All these things require you to use time and to calculate. And most of the time, you may not be able to use a calculator for these because the calculator, for the most part, is in base 10, whereas time is in base 60 or 24 for hours, or 7 days for a week, or 365 and a quarter days for a year. So some calculations with time might be better done using mental strategies. So I'm going to do a couple of these. You might have your own mental strategies. Mum and dad or friends, other people might have some other mental strategies. So the first one I do, and it's going to sound really crazy, but I count on my fingers. So from 12 noon to 6:30 p.m., I actually hold up my hand. So I'm going to draw a stick figure hand. So that's my thumb. So my four fingers and my thumb. And I start with there and I go, okay, 12 noon. So 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. So how many times have I touched my fingers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and another half hour. So the time difference for question 2A between 12 noon and 6:30 p.m. is 6 hours and 30 minutes. Because you can't go 6:30 minus 12. You could write it in 24-hour time and then do the subtraction. Let's try B. So 12 midnight. So I get one of these. So as I said, I just do these, pretend you're counting on your hand. Whoops, I got rid of one of my fingers. Okay, so 12 midnight. So here I go again. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and another 45 minutes. So B is 10 hours and 45 minutes. It's just a way of counting. You can use your fingers if you want. With question C, or ones like it, I'm going to let you go with some of the others, but with question C, some people like to think of it using a clock. So I'm going to draw myself a clock. And I'm just going to put 12, 6, 3, and 9, because we are using the 12-hour clock. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. I'm not too worried about them being 100% accurate. Okay, so in 12 midnight to 4:20 p.m. So it's 12 midnight, so I'm here. And 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 11 a.m. So I've gone 12 hours. So I've got 12 hours. And how much further have I got to go? I've got to go another 4 hours and 20 minutes. So 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4. Oh, so I've got another 4 hours and 20 minutes. Well, that's 16 hours and 20 minutes. And that's another way to think about it. So whether you use your hands, whether you use clock, or whether you even do it in your head, that's all fine, whatever mental strategy you've got. The time difference, question 3, adding these time differences. Right, well, we can do these with a calculator, but we're not going to do calculator ones until we get up to question 6. So we need to think of a strategy to do these. So here's 3. Now remember, when you get to 60, right, you've got to go over. So I've got 1 hour and 30 minutes plus 2 hours and 30 minutes. Well, 30 plus 30 is 60, so 3 hours, and 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 hours and 60 minutes, but 60 minutes is an hour. So 3 hours and 60 minutes is 4 hours. All right? So think about that for a moment. You have a go at B. I'm going to do C. It's a bit easier. 2 hours and 15 minutes plus 1 hour and 15 minutes. Well, 15 plus 15 is 30 minutes, and 2 hours plus 1 hour, so 3 hours and 30 minutes. That was pretty easy. You're going to have a go at D. It'll be the same. E's a bit different. So E and F. So I'm going to do E. You do F. And I've got 3 hours 45 minutes. 3 hours 45 minutes. And 1 hour and 30 minutes. All right, if I add these, 5 and 0 is 5, 3 and 4 is 7. So I've got 75 minutes. Oh, if I've got 75 minutes, that's more than an hour. So I'm going to take 60 of those away, which will give me 15, and put another hour up here. And that'll give me 5 hours, because I've got the 1, the 3, and the 1, and 15 minutes. So that's a harder one. All right, that's a bit harder. In a moment, I'm going to show you how to do that on a calculator anyway. When you're calculating time, so for things like question 4, so I'm going to create a bit of space here for question 4. Again, it's good to have an understanding of your 12-hour and 24-hour clock. So in 4A, I'm going from 2:40 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. Well, I just count again, 1 hour, 3 hours, 40 a.m., another hour, 4 hours and 4:40 a.m., and then I only have to go 5 more minutes. So 1 hour, 1 hour and 5 minutes, and I'll get to my 4:45 a.m. So how much time have I gone? 1 and 1, 2 hours and 5 minutes. Sometimes, so C will be the same. You do the same thing. You're going to go up hours and you'll have another 5 minutes. But I want to look at E. So let's have a look at E, because it's a little bit more difficult. And what am I going from? 6:40 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Now there are two ways of doing this. So 6:40 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Well, you can go, all right, well, I'm going to go to 7:40 and another hour to 8:40. Oh, but that's too big, so I have to come back 10 minutes. So I go 2 hours up and 10 minutes back. Well, that'll be 1 hour. And what's 10 minutes off an hour? 1 hour, 10 minutes off an hour, 50 minutes. That's one way to think about it. Or you can count backwards from 8:30 if you want, but that'll be a bit hard. So if you're going from 8:30 to 7:30, that's 1 hour. And then you've got to get to 6:40. Well, that's hard to know that you've got to go only 50 minutes. So that's a bit of a difficult strategy. I probably wouldn't use that one. I like to we'll go up to 8:40 and come back 10. If you've got a different method and it works, you use that method. Now, in questions like 5, and I'm only doing examples, you're meant to do the other ones, and some of these are very tough. Remember, ask mum and dad, ask your brothers and sisters, or email your teachers. So question number 5, and this is all about finding mental strategies. Write a time for these descriptions. So here's A. It's 2:30 p.m. and I need to go 4 hours. So 3:30 p.m., 4:30 p.m., 5:30 p.m. What have I gone? 1, 2, 3, 6:30 p.m. There's my 1, 2, well, I'll use a different 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. Okay, well, let's try one of the other ones. 3.5 hours before 10 p.m. Okay, so this is C. So I'm going to write 10 p.m. So I go back 1 hour, 9 p.m., another hour, 8 p.m., another hour, 7 p.m. I have to go back half an hour, 30 minutes. Well, that'll take me to, oh my goodness, 6:30 p.m. That can't be the same answer. They wouldn't have done that, would they? Yes, they did. 6:30 p.m. So these are just my mental strategies. You might have another one. Let's have a look at E, 6.25 hours after 11 a.m. So this is going to be a hard one. So let's have a look at this one. So this is E, and I've got 11:50. Come on, what is going on? All right, give me back this. E. Something's going on there. 11:15 p.m. Something's going on with my thing. There we go. And I'm going to go 6.25 hours. So I better create some space because we'll need more space than just that. I'm going to go 6 hours down. Okay. So 1 hour, 12:15. Another hour. And because I've gone now into the AM, I go, oh, geez, what's happening here? 1:15 a.m. And another hour, 2:15 a.m. How many hours I've got to do? 6.25. So I've gone 1, 2, 3, 3:15 a.m., 4:15 a.m. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got to go one more. 5:15 a.m. So there's my 5 hours, my 6 hours, sorry. But I've got to go another 15 minutes. Oh, well, that'll give me 5:30 a.m. And I'm just checking to make sure I'm right. Where am I looking at? What question is this? 5 A, B. Yep, 5 p.m. p.m. Did I start at the wrong one? Is it 11? Oh, it was a.m. I've got, that's an A, which means these are p.m. All right, so 5:30 p.m. All right. The last bit I'm going to show you, and then you can do the other ones as problem-solving questions, are to use your calculator. So the next questions, we're just going to use our calculator for questions 6 and 7. Righto. Here's question 6. Calculate the interval between these pairs of times. Use the DMS button on your calculator. So, between 2 hours, 10 minutes and 20 seconds and 4 hours, 20 minutes. So I'll write the bigger number first. So this is 6A, 4 hours, 20 minutes and 30 seconds. And I've got a minus 2 hours, 10 minutes and 20 seconds. Now I can actually do that because they're all bigger. So 30 minus 20 will be 10 seconds. 20 minus 10 is 10 minutes. And 2 hours, 10 minutes and 10 seconds. But watch this on your calculator. This is so cool. So 4, press this button, hours, 20 minutes and 20 seconds. Now they look as though they're all the same symbol, but they're not. Minus 2 hours, 10 minutes and 20 seconds. Press equals. Oh, I must have tried to, sorry. I should have had 40 there. There you go. Is it 40 or 30? Must be 30. I must have written it down wrong and I can't see it because it's in front of. There's a question. Yeah, it is 30. There you go. So your calculator does it for you. So I'm going to do the next one on the calculator. So I'm going to write the bigger one, which is the second one. 10 hours, 50 minutes, 27 seconds. And this is question 6C. I'm doing the first column. Minus 9 hours, 46 minutes and 13 seconds. So 1 hour, 4 minutes and 14 seconds. And that's the correct answer. So I'd like you to use your calculator for this. I'm going to do the last one, E, just last time, and you can do the rest. So I do the second one first, 8 hours, 37 minutes, 21 seconds, minus 6 hours, 43 minutes and 28 seconds. 1 hour, 53 minutes and 53 seconds. That would be very hard to do manually. The other thing you can do is question 7 on your calculator. So calculate those. 2¼ hours plus 3½ hours. So I'm going to type here, I hit Shift and this, and I get that improper mixed numeral. So I've got 2 and 1 on 4, 2¼ plus, because I've got to add these, 3 and, oops, I need to get in that, 3 and a half. 5.75. Now, if I want that in degrees, watch this, this is beautiful. If I want that in degrees, minutes and seconds, I just press the bubble button. 5 hours 45. Calculators can be great. The other way to do a question like that, if you were going to do it manually, so here's 7A, 2¼ hours plus 3½. Well, 2¼ is 2 hours and 15 minutes, and 3½ is 3 hours and 30. If I add them together, 15 and 30, 45, and 2 and 3, 5. So you can do it without a calculator, but when you get to C, it's very, very hard. So watch me do C. 6.2 plus 2.9. 9.1. Oh, what's that in hours and minutes? Just press the degrees, minutes, seconds button. 9 hours and 6 minutes and no seconds. And look at the last one. Watch me do the last one. Now you could do it manually. Actually, I will. I'll do it manually, and then you'll see why I suggest you use a calculator. So I've got 2 hours, 40 minutes and 10 seconds, and I've got 1 hour, 10 minutes and 18 seconds. So I'm going to add each of these up. But if they go past 60, I should have done F. If they go past 60, it'll be hard. So 10 plus 18, 28. So I've got 28 seconds. 40 plus 10, 50 minutes. And 1 plus 2, 3 hours. But I can do it on my calculator. Watch this. 2 hours, 40 minutes and 10 seconds plus 1 hour, 10 minutes, not 110, 10 minutes and 18 seconds. And there you get that. The reason it gets more difficult is if you have to go above 60, because I reckon that F's going to be going above 60. So I've got 10 hours, 50 minutes and 18 seconds. And I've got 2 hours, 30 minutes, this is going to be hard, and 12 seconds. So when I add these together, watch what happens. 18 and 12, well, that's 30. That doesn't go above 60, so I've got 30 seconds. But 30 and 50 takes me to 80. Well, I can't have 80, so I take 60, which leaves me with 20, and I'll put 1 up there. And that'll give me 1 plus 10 plus 2. That'll give me 13. 13 hours, 20 minutes and 30 seconds. But if I do it on my calculator, 10 hours, 50 minutes and 18 seconds plus 2 hours, 30 minutes and 12 seconds. And there you can see, comes up straight away. All right. The rest of the questions involve you reading timetables and doing calculations. Have a go at those, and if you're having trouble, email your teacher.